Oh, it didn't snap. Well, that's very anticlimactic. We must clean the props. Oh, so clean. Oh my gosh, my wand is so dirty. God, I hope this isn't what the floor arts is now. But we do look hella good in masks. What up, Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about COVID-19 and its effect on the flow arts community. And before we jump into things, yes, we are going to keep this a little lighthearted, but of course this is a very serious topic and should be taken very seriously as well. And the topics we're going to cover today is what's currently happening with flow festivals, the vendors, online events, and the future of the flow arts community. So this is a lot of different topics that of course I want your input on because I definitely want to pass the questions off to you. So let me know in the comments how you feel and what you think about this whole situation. I know a lot of you all are hurting out there, so maybe we can figure out some ways that maybe we won't hurt so much or maybe even grow from this. Because oddly enough, this epidemic has opened up quite a few doors for different avenues, which we'll definitely get into. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give it a like, leave me a comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. We have the wizards of the channel. And the wizards of the channel are Flow Toys, Astral Hoops, and Matrix Fire Safety. Thanks, guys. And if you also want to support my channel, you got two options. You can become a Patreon supporter, or you can head on over to my website, luxluminous.com, and I got lots of awesome leggings. And all of the money goes directly into funding this channel and brings more content to you. All right, so let's jump into it. Let's talk about this thing. Okay, so what's currently happening in the flow arts community? A lot of people don't know what's happening and there's a lot of confusion. We have festivals canceling, we have festivals still going on, and how are these things functioning right now? For the 2020 festival circuit, we have seen a lot of big name festivals either having to cancel or postpone their events due to the coronavirus, which in a lot of cases, people are agreeing with them that this is the right move that they should be doing, you know, canceling the events so you don't have these people traveling in from all over the world. You have that high risk of either them bringing something into the festival or them catching something at the festival and bringing it back to wherever they came from, which is a huge risk. And if there's an outbreak of COVID-19 at a festival, that is putting a lot of people in danger, a lot of our friends, our family in danger. And of course, not to mention the huge PR disaster that would be. I don't think a festival would be able to come back from an outbreak happening at their event. That is the main focus of why these events are canceling and postponing. We gotta keep each other safe. And then on the other end, we have some festivals late in the summer that are still planning to have their events. So how is that gonna work? How are people going to come together? So I totally get why a lot of these events are holding out. They've paid their deposit on the venue, they've paid for marketing, they've paid for equipment. You know, they've already invested so much money into this year's event that it would probably be smarter for them to wait and see what happens versus just canceling now. So you're definitely seeing a lot of people still selling tickets and of course still asking people to come. But I don't know if that's necessarily right, because if they have to end up canceling, then they're gonna have to refund all that money and hope that all of the money that they put down for deposits can get refunded as well or put down for the next year, which is a huge gamble. I totally get it. I totally get it. But I do not foresee any events happening this year, maybe even next year, until we get like a vaccine or reach herd immunity. Who knows what'll happen? It's so crazy. Things are changing so fast. It could be one way this week and another way that week. So of course, hopefully things will be better and we can start getting back to festivals as soon as we can, because it's such a core part of the flow arts community, is like going to these events and gathering with other like-minded artists. And it's really hard because this last year, 2019, a lot of festivals had a really hard year financially. So to have a hard year and then have to completely cancel events this year, this makes me really worried about flow arts events. And if you haven't seen my video about flow arts festivals and the issues that they've been having, definitely check out this link right here. I'll throw it up there, and of course I will link it down in the description down below in case you're interested in all of that business. Hopefully a lot of events are taking this time to revamp their business model and take a look at what they could do to make things a bit tighter so that way you're able to pay your staff and pay the flow artists. And the DJs! Poor DJs. Don't lick your butt on camera. Gimme. I hope my cat wasn't just licking her butt the entire time. Ugh, rude. Oh, you're so cute. Hi, baby. You're so cute. Okay, enough of my cat. All right, so that's what's happening with festivals right now. For the most part, it's either canceled, postponed, or people crossing their fingers. So let's talk about the vendors. What are they doing? Are they making money? So we have a lot of vendors in the flow arts community. Right now we have vendors that can't do any production because they've had to shut down the warehouse. We've had vendors switch over to making medical gear, such as like face masks and things like that. We've also had people just selling their normal stuff and just selling it as is. So I have talked to a few of the vendors in the community, and a lot of them have been selling things very well, which may be because of the stimulus check that was just given out. It might be because people have extra money to burn. So that's really great for the flow arts economy. Like, people still buying props. We definitely need people buying things and investing more into the community. And that happening right now is really good. So of course, if you can go buy a prop, help the flow arts economy. It'll definitely be interesting to see if the shutdown orders stay in place and what ends up happening with all these vendors. But from right now, things look like they're doing okay. But of course, that's not everybody. You know, I'm not talking for every flow arts vendor. But of course, if you're a vendor and things are not looking so good, definitely leave a comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts on it. I want to know if you've seen an uptick in sales, if it's plateaued, or if it's just going downhill. All right, so let's talk about the future. Like, what is gonna happen to the future of flow arts? So we've already started seeing a lot of online events pop up and people utilizing streaming services to be able to teach, do festivals, play music, all kinds of things, which is really cool to see people do lessons online and people are tipping them and they're paying them, which has always been an issue in the flow arts community. We don't pay our instructors enough, and I hope that is something that sticks in the community. Tip your local flow arts instructor. Let's just make that a thing from here on out. Let's pay our instructors, tip them, give them money, because this is a service that they spend hours on and for the most part don't get paid very well to do it. So we've also seen events like charities pop up. There's been Florentine? I don't know how to say Admiral's event, but that's a thing. There's also Move that Marvin does, Shape Summit, and we also did COVID-19. Quasar's also doing a thing as well. So you're seeing a lot of charity events pop up and they're able to like give money back to these flow artists that are struggling because they're out of work, they're out of gigs, they can't do the thing that they love to do, that we all love to do. But with online events, especially with streaming and charities and whatnot, it's not really sustainable. When you're running a charity like that, doing it over and over and over again, you're definitely gonna get some burnout. So there has to be a way that you can market an online event that you can go and learn, but also pay to have those kind of services. But a sustainable event could look like, you know, getting funding, getting grants, getting sponsors, making an event that can be marketable to the public. As of right now, a lot of our events cannot be marketed to the public. And with flow arts having such a hard year, having online events might actually be the way to go. That way you don't have this massive overhead, you're able to reach way more people. With COVID-19, we were able to reach almost 2,000 people from all over the world. It was insane. And it was also really amazing because people that have never been to a flow arts festival couldn't afford to go to a flow arts festival. We had somebody message us that was physically disabled who had never been able to go to a flow arts festival. So throwing an online event opens it up to so many people that wouldn't have ever been able to go to an event. So there are some serious benefits to throwing these events online versus having them at a venue in a place in the middle of nowhere where you have no accessibility ramps or anything for people that need it. People, of course, are asking, will these online events go away after COVID's done? And honestly, I think they are here to stay. Though I don't think that they will replace like real life flow arts festivals, but I think it's a great alternative and a great addition to the spectrum of flow arts events and things. If a flow festival is thrown this year or maybe next year, what's that actually gonna look like? Are we gonna have to like wear masks and gloves and stand 6 feet apart and sanitize everything? How are events going to ensure people's safety when we're dealing with other people from all over the world? That's such a hard, tricky thing because we're out in the middle of the woods, which is the most unsanitary place. Like, you've seen those hippies, those crusty ones coming back from the fire circle at like 9 a.m. I do not think that they're practicing social distancing. It's going to be interesting to see how festivals adapt to having a more sanitized event, which, you know, could be understandable. I could definitely see the future of events having masks be mandatory, at least for a little while. You definitely don't want a community spread within the flow arts community, because let's face it, when have we been to a flow festival and not got the wook flu? I feel like I get sick every time I go to a festival. And of course, that question of how would you even enforce people to wear masks at a festival? Would you ban them? Would you ask them to leave? Like, what do those consequences look like? Social media has been going gangbusters. I'm talking YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because everybody is stuck at home right now. So they are absorbing content and there's no new shows coming on, and the only things that are being made that are actually new are YouTube and social media creators. And I have talked to a few people in the social media realm, and I've also seen my numbers skyrocketing for the past couple months. If you're interested in getting into doing more social media, now's the time. Get in there, do the thing, spread the content. Because if we get more content out there, that's more people seeing what flow arts is, and more people getting interested in coming into flow arts. The videos that are getting some of the most traction right now are beginner tutorials. People want to learn, they want to have something that'll take them away from what's going on in the world. So of course, another thing I want to talk about is spinjams. So our spinjam's gonna come back soon. I help run a spinjam here in Boston, and our end of our cancellation date is May 15th. There's no way we're gonna be able to hold a jam May 15th. Things are way too crazy. We're gonna have to keep pushing it back. And once jam starts, we're probably gonna have people wear masks and stand 6 feet apart, and probably not have people passing clubs between each other. So at first, when things start opening up and spin jams start opening up, we're gonna have to take it step by step. And especially being here in a hot spot, it's hard because you wanna make sure that the members of your jam are safe. And the question is the flow arts community gonna be able to survive COVID-19? And of course, I'm gonna pass that question off to you. I definitely wanna know what your thoughts are on this whole thing. Leave it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, commenting, and ringing the bell. The support really helps so much with the channel. And I definitely wanna encourage you to keep practicing, keep getting that body moving. So please be safe out there, wash your hands, do whatever you can to be safe and keep your family safe. Oh, here's a kitty to make you feel better about everything that's terrible in the world right now. All right, well, see you all on the wand side.